Welcome back, everybody, to the Teen Titans retrospective. We're going through every episode of the original Teen Titans, week by week, episode by episode. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and enjoy the videos. We've gotten a lot of new support and new subscribers recently, so that's really cool to see. Thank you so much for all of the love, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the episode. This is Season 2, Episode 9, Winner Take All, written by Dwayne McDuffie and directed by Ciro Nieli. We get the Japanese theme this week, which means the episode's going to be a little less serious. This one is just kind of mostly some fun action and a little bit of world building and introducing some characters that will become more important, like, way further down the line. This episode opens with the Titans playing a card game, which the rules of are completely nonsensical, and trying to understand them would drive you crazy, so let's just not. This scene is here to set up that Robin and Cyborg are kind of the most competitive of the Titans, which will come into play throughout this episode. Cyborg ends up winning this card game, saying his catchphrase, "Booyah," and another "Booyah" to the counter. Strangely, Tara is absent from this scene. She just joined the Titans officially last week, and she does have a brief cameo at the very end of this episode. And although this episode isn't directly connected to the Tara arc, I still feel it's kind of a missed opportunity to not have her be a part of the team in just a normal scene of the Titans hanging out. It doesn't break the continuity or anything. She could be doing any number of things while the Titans are hanging out playing cards, but still, a bit of a missed opportunity. But the main plot of this episode begins when all the male Titans, Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, are warped away from this card game and end up in this other dimension realm thing where they are greeted by the Game Master, or he has some dumb name, some goofy name like that, who has entered them in a sort of contest of champions, a tournament arc, if you will, where they have to compete against some of the other young heroes of their age demographic to become the bestest champion, and they win some type of vague prize. Some of the other characters we see here, we have returning Aqualad, as well as Gizmo, who of course is actually a villain, but was brought into this anyways. And then we have some new characters introduced, such as Speedy, who is of course Green Arrow's sidekick, very similar to Robin. They point that out. Robin and Speedy have both heard of each other and start comparing different gadgets and stuff that they use. Speedy shows up a few times throughout this show. This is his first appearance. He's a much bigger character in the sort of spiritual successor show Young Justice. But here he's just a guy that can shoot arrows real good, and that's basically all you need to know about him. We also have Hotspot, who is a Human Torch fire type character. He has fire powers. Very much reminds me of the Heat Blast guy from Ben 10 Alien Force. I'm trying to not bring up Ben 10 every episode, but sorry, I promise I'll stop someday. And then we also have Wildebeest, a guy who is half man and half murderer of Simba's dad. They're all entered in this contest of champions, Battle Royale, tournament arc, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Nexus type thing. I won't go into too much detail breaking down every single matchup and what happens with each different pairing, but for the first round, let's just go through the bracket real quick. Speedy fights Aqualad. Speedy wins. Robin fights Hotspot. Robin wins. Cyborg fights Gizmo. Cyborg wins. And Beast Boy fights Wildebeest. Wildebeest wins. Which is the one little detail that I kind of like, is that all the Titans don't immediately get on to the next round. Beast Boy actually ends up losing his fight, so that it doesn't feel like just the main characters are the only ones that are formidable enough to get anywhere in this arbitrary tournament arc. When one of these characters loses their fight, they mysteriously disappear. This Game Master guy tells them that, hey, they just got sent home. Don't worry about them. But Cyborg is suspicious. That night, he stays up and sneaks around to try to figure out if there's more going on than just what they've been told. He, of course, stumbles on to the Game Master right when he's monologuing about his evil plan, which is that this Game Maker guy is stealing the powers of all the competitors that end up losing and sucking them into this gem that he has around his neck. How specifically does this work, since some of the competitors like Robin, Speedy, and Gizmo don't have any powers? They just use technology and gadgets to do what they do. I don't know, don't think about it. But because this guy catches Cyborg, he just sucks him into his gem thing. That brings us to the final round of the tournament. Wow, look at that. This turned out to be a pretty short tournament. A three-way fight between Wildebeest, Speedy, and Robin. Robin and Speedy defeat Wildebeest, and then Robin defeats Speedy, leaving Robin the champion. He succeeded in being the most competitive one. Hooray. Game Master guy then reveals his evil plan to Robin. So Robin, of course, ends up fighting this guy who can now draw from all these different powers of the different characters. Robin is eventually able to damage this gem, allowing some of the characters to escape. They then work together with Robin to free everyone else, and the day is saved or whatever. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Robin learns. I guess it's some kind of vague thing about like only being competitive to prove that you're the best is like not really worth anything unless you're accomplishing a common goal with your friends or something. It's a little vague and a little clunky, and I don't know if it fully works, but this episode's like not super serious, so I wouldn't worry about it. The episode ends with Robin and the Titans giving the other characters these little communicator things, inducting them into the honorary Titan ranks, which Aqualad was already a part of. Of course, they purposefully exclude Gizmo, known criminal and enemy of the Titans. But Speedy, Wildebeest, and Hotspot will all return in later episodes. So, hey, look at that. Some fun extra characters that have some fun abilities that will show up eventually. Everyone gets sent back home or something, but then there's a goofy cliffhanger ending that doesn't go anywhere, where we see Starfire, Raven, and Terra are all brought into a tournament of heroines. For all the female characters, they get to do the same bullshit that all the male characters just did, I guess. There's your little Terra cameo. I wish it was a little bit more than that. I also always remembered that Jinx was in this ending cliffhanger, but I guess I just misremembered it because she's not there. I don't know. This one's all right. It has some kind of fun moments. We get to see a variety of different characters with fun different power sets interact and fight against each other. So there's some kind of fun and creative action sequences and animation. And we introduce a few characters that will become a bigger deal later on in the show. I like Robin's interactions with Speedy. I like that they're kind of poking fun at the fact that Robin and Speedy in the comics were like kind of basically the same character when they were first introduced. And of course, alluding to some of the other original Teen Titans characters from the comics is always fun. So there's some like fun world building in this episode, but not a whole lot of like super interesting character development going on here. Yeah, that's about it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again next week, continuing the Terra arc. So if you don't want to miss that, hit the subscribe button. Once again, thank you for all the new subscribers and new viewers. I hope you stick around and enjoy the videos. And stay tuned, because we're going to keep going through every episode of the original Teen Titans. And I got a bunch of other stuff planned that I also want to do. So don't leave, please. Thank you. Thank you again. All the recent support has been very, very cool, and it means a lot to me. And I know I keep saying that, but it's true, and it's just been a very, very cool experience. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.